Hello. I believe we are live. I'm just going to take a moment to get my space set up. Then I will welcome everyone. It's a little tough to see what this is all going to look like until I'm actually live. So I am going to just take a moment to move some things, see who hops on and joins us today. All right. Do you think the lighting's a little better this week? Going to get my microphone moved here in just a second. I think I'll kick us off with just some announcements. So if this is your first time joining me, thank you for being here. If you're back, thank you for returning. My name's Katie. I'm excited to take you through a full body workout that requires little to no equipment. We knock it out in 45 minutes. These do get archived. So these live on. These videos are filmed live, then they live on. So you can come back to them. They're numbered. So you kind of know and can keep track of which one's which. And they do progressively get a little bit more intense, I would say, over time. So with that, I'm going to get us going. Feel free to give me some feedback. I am a little newer at this platform and especially streaming live in this way. All right. I believe we are good to go and to get warmed up. Go ahead and set yourself up in a squat stance. Start sitting back and sweeping those arms up overhead. We're here for about 15 reps. Chest up, lots of weight in the heels. Breathing, obviously. Let's go 5 more reps. It's 5, 4, 3, 2, that's 1. Open those arms out, down and around the front. Pick up those elbows. Just a nice big arm circle up and around the front. And one more here. We'll immediately start pulling the heels back. Some just quick hamstring curls. Heel to seat. I like to kick back the elbows as I kick back the leg. Stretching out the hip flexor a little bit, especially if you've been sitting at your desk all day. We go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We immediately step the legs out wide and start a sumo squat. From here, we're adding arms. We are going to sweep down, touch the floor, come back up. You get to kick forward a little bit in your chest, or a lot of it, so that you can touch that floor, get right into those hips. We'll go 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. On this next one, go ahead and stay down. Nice wide stance. It does feel like the shoulders are shrugged. Kick one shoulder forward. Little torso stretch. Other shoulder forward. Just sink those hips, opening them up. Toes forward, heels back. Tuck and round. And roll the shoulders back for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very good. We bring those legs underneath us. You are fetching 1 or 2 weights for a squat with a leg lift side. I'm fetching 1 10-pound weight. You could use whatever weight's available to you. And you can also use 2 weights. When I hold 1 weight, I use it end to end and hold it in front of the chest. So from here, we sit back, we lift the leg repeatedly to the side. 10 reps. All same side. That makes 10. Immediately second side. Three more here. Exhale, push. And rest. Good. Fetch the heaviest weights you have. And if you have no weights, you'll just have to shadow the exercise. Follow along the best you can. We've been working on this the past few weeks. Arms hanging at the sides, abs tight. Soft knees, flat back forward. Squeeze and hold. Row, reach, and stand. Flat back, squeeze, reach, stand. We're about halfway, making our way to 12. Three more reps. 3, squeeze. 2, squeeze. And 1. Awesome job. Set these down. Next, we go into a push-up. You could be at the floor, you could be on a bench or a chair creating an incline push-up. I'm doing this from the floor, and I'm going to suggest a 3-count lower or 3-count eccentric and a 1-count concentric or push. I'll show you from the side, I think, to start, a modified from the knee option. You can also be on your toes, totally up to you. I just find that's where most people are starting. I've got a slightly wider grip, abs tight, hips come forward. You could do tricep push-ups if you prefer. We lower 3, 2, 1, exhale, push. 3, 2, 1, push. 3, 2, 1, push. Abs are tight. We're supporting the low back, making our way to 10. Chest right between the thumbs. Go as low as you can. It might be different for everyone. Long neck. 3. Might be off by a rep or so since I'm talking. And last one. And rest. Sit back, stretch the low back, tuck and round. And come on up. We go immediately back into this circuit. That tends to be how I run this class. Circuits of 2 or 3 exercises, so duos or trios. I don't know if you really consider a duo a circuit, but here we go. We're going to fetch our weight for the overhead press, 1 or 2 weights. Again, we catch our breath just a little bit. Deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. We sit back into our squat. It's repeated leg lift or hip abduction. If you want to be technical. Abs tight overhead. Actually, throughout the whole thing. Really sit back. It's 10 each side. And a quick transition. Eight, 9, and 10. Excellent. You're fetching, again, the heaviest weights you have. I'm assuming most people don't have 100-pound dumbbells that they're fetching. So work within your limits, but we can use heavier weight for rowing, most of us. Feet hip width apart, abs tight, flat back, row, squeeze and pause, reach and stand. Keeping those shoulder blades retracted the entire time. About halfway here, rep 6. We should feel lengthening, ideally lengthening in the hamstrings. Working the low back. Really squeeze and pause. Nice big exhale as you squeeze. And rest. Setting these down, we will be transitioning to the floor or wherever it is that you are taking the push-ups from. Wide grip or narrow, up to you. Knees or toes, navel to spine. Inhale to lower, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, push. 3, 2, 1. Exhale, push. Halfway. Oh, I lied. Because I think we're doing, no, I did 10 last time. 2 more. And 1 more. And stretch. Stretch the low back. Come up to cat stretch if that feels good. Open or expand the chest at the top. Most of us that sit at a workstation all day, we need to open this all up. So let's shift gears, come into our next round of work. I think we will start with an overhead press that trains for endurance and balance. So you're going to have 2 weights. This again is overhead work. So you're going to choose your weight based on what you're comfortable pressing overhead if you have multiple options. And we're going to build in some endurance work by holding at the top of the movement as opposed to the bottom. So we are going to pull our arms in and open up wide like a letter W. We are going to press the weight up overhead, and we are going to work one arm at a time. So the other arm is in what we call like a waiter's hold, like you're holding something up overhead. Nice scapular stabilization. And the other arm is doing the work. Well, they're both working. It's doing the press. One is stabilizing, one is bending and pressing. Keep going. I anticipate your shoulders are warming up a little bit if you have appropriate weight. If not, you might find you need to do more reps. Excellent work. Bring them into the chest. Lower the arms down. And I am going to retain one weight for what's called a wood chopper squat. So I'm holding my one weight end to end. If you had 2 extremely light weights, you could place them together and press them together. I'll turn sideways so you can kind of see this on diagonal. It's a nice deep squat, swinging the weight between the legs, swinging up overhead, and then we'll add a bend and extend to fire the triceps. So chop and swing, triceps at the top. Chest up at the bottom. Elbows in at the top. 6 more. Last 3, 2, 1, and done. Very good. From here, we are going to transition into some biceps work. So grab a drink if you need it, but nothing too fancy today. We're actually just going to play with our grip a little bit. So fetch whatever weights you would like to use for bicep curls. We are going to supinate or turn out, externally rotate. So palms are out and chest is open. We're going to curl in this position, flip the grip to pronated, and we are going to lower the arms. So flip, curl, flip, release. Why do we do this? It will train your grip and forearm well, especially on this lowering. Good. Keep going. Three more reps here will get us to 12. 3, 2, and 1. Good. I like to challenge your memory or recall a little bit. So before we go, try to recall what we just did. Myself included. So we started with an overhead press, one arm stabilizing in a leader's type walk or carry. Then we went into a wood chopper squat with overhead triceps extension. And then we went into our double biceps curl with rotation. Let's do it again. Fetch your weights for overhead press. We are wide, like a letter W, up and overhead, soft knees, heavy tailbone, abs engaged, bend and press, one at a time, maintaining the other arm in that up and stabilizing position. Keep going. A few more reps this time. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Feel the burn a little bit. And again, if you get to the end of any exercise really and feel like you could go on in perpetuity, that's an indicator that you would benefit from heavier weight and or additional reps. Next, we're moving into our wood chopper squat. One heavier weight or two lighter ones held end to end. And from here, we sit back, reach through, chest up, strong swing, bend, and chop. Elbows hug in at the top. Three more here. Good. Fold the arms into the chest and set this down. Grab a drink. We do have one more exercise, our biceps. Grab your chosen weights. Feet hip width apart. Soft knees, heavy tailbone, chest up, grip flipped, out, curl, flip, release, flip. Exhale, squeeze. Four more like this. It's 4, 3, really squeeze that upper arm. 2, and 1. Very good. Set these aside. Next, we will train in a split stance, which is something I strive to do in every workout, meaning one leg forward, one leg back. Sometimes we do a lateral lunge. If you are barefoot, I would suggest staying on your mat. I've got new kicks on today, so I'm going to use just my hard surface because I've got enough traction. We are going to do what's called a stationary lunge with either a balancing action at the top. So a stationary lunge, we're just here and we're going to be here. We're not going to travel. but we are going to push up and either drive the knee into the chest or extend fully forward to get the quad firing. So very good for our knees. If any of this feels like too much too soon, obviously you can always hold on to something to support your balance. Or instead of coming up into the hiked position, you could do a tap and then find your balance. But ideally work toward extending that leg forward. So we have one leg back, nice strong tuck, chest up, abs in. You could hold weight if you would like, or you can just focus on great form. From here, bend, push, extend. It does take time and practice to get familiar with precisely where to step so that the knees are happy, the form is good. We'll take 4 more here. 4. I'm looking ahead for balance. 3, 2, 1. My very favorite thing, drop down and stay there. Tuck those hips under. Reach those arms up. Pulse down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And push off. Specifically doing that to train endurance in the legs, working in that lower position when we're tired. I'm turning to face the other way. I am working my other side. That way you can see my working leg. You don't need to spin around per se. You can just switch your legs. So make a choice. If it's too easy, by all means, grab some weights. I've got my hands on my hips because that's comfortable, but you can do whatever you need to with your arms to get her done. Chest up, here we go. Bend, push off, leg extension, working our way to 12 reps. I don't know about you, but I can always be reminded of which is my stronger side. Down and stay down, hips under, chest up, pulses, down, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nice strong push off. Good, from here we'll grab the lightest weights we have for a lateral raise. Now last week we trained a full lateral raise going all the way up the side to overhead, which would require light weight as well. So if you want to work a little heavier this week, you could, knowing that we are going to stop at shoulder height. I'm also going to flip your grip. So we're going to have our thumbs up and our palms forward. So grab your weights with that in mind. Feet together. Soft knees, tight core, palms to the front, thumb up on top. Make a letter T quick and down with control. Quick, down with control. Four more here. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very good. Set those down. Exercise 3, we come down to the mat. I'll just demonstrate it standing real quick. This is something we worked on if you were here last week or watched workout 6. So pretend I'm in plank. I am going to retract the shoulder blades, squeeze the arm back into what looks like a rowing action, and replace, squeeze, and replace. What I like about this is you have a pulling arm and a pushing arm, essentially. So go ahead and calm down into plank. If you need to modify, you sure can. Otherwise, squeeze it back, replace, squeeze, replace. So this renegade row, we will absolutely be adding weight, but I want to get bodies prepped and acclimated first. Keep going. I love how sore this makes me. Keep going. 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very good. That was 24 reps or 12 sets. I like to count every rep. I think it's a little easier to keep track of where you are. All right. Grab a drink. Heart rate check. If your heart rate is up, wonderful. That's why we're here, is to condition all the things. If your heart rate is not up, that tells me that the intensity is not where it needs to be for you. We can talk about that. We also want to watch, conversely, that heart rate doesn't get so high that you feel nauseous. That's a real barrier to being excited to work out, is being nauseous every time. So we kind of have to find that sweet spot where we let the heart rate get up and then we let it recover a little bit and then we go again. So this is interval training, heart rate up, keep it up a little bit, let it recover, and over time we get stronger that way in terms of our cardiorespiratory conditioning. So from here, coming back to our lunge, one leg back, one leg forward, chest up, dropping it down, hiking it up, and or extending. Sweat dripping down everywhere. A little distracting. Very good. Step back and stay back. Hips low, chest high, reaching arms down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nice strong push off. Now, ideally, there is no pain in the joints. Burning, absolutely. Pain in the joints, no bueno. Go ahead and switch your feet. And quick reminder, the front leg ideally feels incredibly stable. So that front foot is quite flat. Here we go. Down and extend. Two more. Down and hold it. Chest up. And we pulse. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Thinking ahead, see if you can remember what comes next. It is our lateral raise. Grabbing weights for that. I added a little flare this week with palms forward or thumbs on top, knees soft, heavy tailbone, abs tight. In general, with weight training, in my opinion, it does kind of feel like you've got a puffed up chest a lot of the time, so that you've got your shoulders back, your abs in, and a nice, strong, supportive stance. From here, up quick, down slow. More here. 3, exhale, lift. 2, that's 1. Awesome, set that down. We are next into that renegade row drill, as I call it. It's like we're rehearsing what's to come when we add load and just drilling with our own body weight, which is always a good idea. If it feels too easy, by all means, add reps. I just want to give us a reasonable target for all levels. Up we go, abs tight, and squeeze, and squeeze. Abs tight, supporting the back. Halfway. Here we go for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Have a seat. Good, good. Up we go. Take your time, especially if you feel lightheaded. We are going to just ensure that our heart rate stays up a little bit with this next round of work because we are going to start to transition into some smaller muscles and core work. So we're going to lead us off with either a jumping jack or a modified jack. And there are ways to make it harder as well. So a modified jack looks like this, a tap to the side with jumping jack arms. You have your full out option, or you have a squat and tap, or a squat and jack, where you could stay low the whole time to get a little extra burn in the legs. So we are going 30 reps. And if you need options, you can do a combination. Sometimes I like to tap for 4, jack for 4, especially if you're working on strength in your pelvic floor and your cardiovascular strength. So when you're ready, go ahead and join me. Last 10. And rest. Awesome. From here, we're going to have a seat. We have been every single class drilling what I call the V-sit position. And you will need one weight to take with you. It is light. We have a seat. I'm going to go a little bit on diagonal so you can see what I'm doing. Knees up, feet flat. Reminders, you have a choice. Level 1, feet stay down. Level 2, 1 foot off. Level 3, 2 feet off. Level 4, 2 feet off, legs straight. So pick your thing. We have one weight into the body. Regardless of our choice, we tuck and round and we get the legs into position. From here, we widen the grip. We're going to pass up and overhead and up and overhead. This is intentionally asymmetrical. We'll have 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it into the body, lower down, and replace the weight on the floor. Now, go crisscross just for a hip stretch. What I find with our V-sit shape that we've been drilling is that oftentimes people will report feeling it more in the thighs, understandably. Large muscles want to kick in and help, and of course they're working, switch. But we really want to stretch that out, stretch out the hips. And we do want to feel it in our center a little bit more. So we have to really think about navel to spine. And over time, the legs won't take over quite as much. Let's go ahead and flip over onto knees and elbows. If your knee's bothering you, you can give it more cushion if it's kind of tender to the touch. From here, we have a nice flat back position. So you can kind of see, you can arch or extend or round, but we want to try to find neutral spine. We're going to extend the right leg back up to hip height and make this nice tight hamstring curl. So even tighter than 90 if you can. From here, we're driving up in this donkey kick action. We have a whole lot of reps, 32 to be exact. Small, heel to seat. And 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Extend that leg, press back through the heel, get a little stretch. Tuck the leg in, replace the knee, and go right away to the second side. So extend, curl really tight to the seat, abs pull up and in, start driving up. Long neck. Halfway. And again for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Extend the leg, press back, get a stretch, and tuck the leg in. Coming up gracefully, we'll go all fours, tuck the toes, sit back, get a stretch through down dog. Work continues. Walk the hands to the feet. Fold yourself in half. Get a nice release in the head, nice stretch. And we will slowly roll up. Couple shoulder rolls. And shake it out. So we are doing that one more time. We start with our 30 jumping jacks, then we get into our, what I call pass the bell in that V-sit shape, into donkey kicks, and then a little bit of immobilizing stretch. So when you're ready, make your choice for which version of this jumping jack is for you, and here we are. Keep going. Last 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. So one thing I know for sure is that your shoulders get activated in this class. I have a pretty strong success rate, in my opinion, on helping folks with their shoulder health, improving mobility and strength, and figuring out how do we have the best of both to really have healthy shoulders. I think shoulders are the best muscle group to train because there's infinite ways to do so. It's very fun, in my opinion. So here we go. Tuck and run back. Find your shape and start passing. Two more. And bring it in. Quick crisscross. Little forward bend that stretches the hips and the back. It could be that your hip flexors feel tired. I think my sensor on hip flexors is a little off because dancers have very strong hip flexors. So that's kind of my sport. So it always reminds me when I work with others that sometimes hip flexors are a real opportunity to get them stronger. So you could be feeling that. Twist each way. We flip on over and we get into our donkey kicks. So from here, elbows and forearms, flat back, neutral spine, abs nice and tight, leg extension to the back, hamstring curl. And we also have a nice hip extension here. So when you get really tight to the seat here, you're creating resistance in the leg itself. And you are driving up against that resistance. Quick pulses for core and hammies and glutes. About halfway. Last 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Leg extension back on the floor, toes tucked. Drive and press the heel back for a calf stretch. Tuck the leg in, immediately swap it out. Extend and lift. Nice tight hamstring curl. Heel to ceiling, fire away. Here we go. Last 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Leg extension on the floor. Toes are tucked. Drive the heel back. And tuck it in. We will come up through down dog, but I've got 4 minutes with you, so I'm going to maximize that. So coming onto our backs, we'll take the right leg up in a nice hamstring stretch, really lengthening the back of the knee and drawing the toes toward the face. So we always just want to hold as high on the leg as we can while keeping the shoulder blades relaxed into the mat. Quick switch. Really lengthen the back of that knee. Otherwise, it's just pretend stretch. Good. Both legs are up. You can choose to support the low back or the pelvis with the hands. Abs are nice and tight. Squeeze those feet and ankles together for me. We lower down to a challenging place and recover. The low back stays in contact with the mat. If you are losing contact, I would like you to not lower so far until you can maintain that contact. That just tells me that we need a little more core stabilization to be able to take the weight of the legs quite that low. Let's do 3 more here. 3, 2, 1, and a quick knees to chest. Good. From here, we extend the legs again. You can have a soft bend in the knees, arms down by the side. If you're not used to doing reverse curls, they're difficult. You might need a little swing and momentum. You might need very bent legs to get any bit of movement or lift through the pelvis. The more advanced you are, the more confident I am that you'll just go straight up, but do your version of reverse curls. I don't like looking sideways when I do these, so I'll put my head on straight. Let's go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Quickly, legs into tabletop, elbows wide, big breath in. Exhale, curl up. We'll take a crisscross action. Take out that little pause, just cross, and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Really challenge yourself to make contact. Knees up, feet flat, quick bridge, just tuck the hips, extend them to the ceiling. Stretch out those hip flexors. And tuck and roll down. From here, we will hug the knees, rock and sit up. Flip on over to all fours. Bringing us back up through down dog. Tuck the toes, sit back. Nice hamstring stretch here. Press the floor away, send the hips back. Long, neutral spine. Long, slow inhalation, long, slow exhalation. Walk those hands back to the feet, stacking yourself over the ankles, releasing the top of the head. Soft knees, rounded spine, rolling up. We'll roll the shoulders back for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Catch a balance on one leg and or take yourself to a wall or chair. Reach for those laces. Release the knees straight down. Squeeze the seat for a deeper quad stretch. Second side. Feet apart, one arm palm up. Nice big waistline oblique stretch. And switch. Good. Hug a tree. Tuck your pelvis around your back. And extend. Open it up. Good. Big breath in. Reach up. Feet together. Long waistline up and back. Elbows wide. And roll it back. All right. That is a wrap for today. If you are watching this, I want to thank you, and I will give a little more detail as well. So my goal is to be here every Friday as my schedule allows. I'm making it a priority best I can. Again, these workouts live on. I would love your feedback as to what types of formats you'd like to see. I am happy to add more mind-body formats and or other considerations. I mean, I would love to be able to do things to music. That's a challenge with this platform. So that's kind of my hesitation. If you might like shorter format videos, like 15 or 20-minute express type workouts specifically for core or targeted results, I would like to know that as well. Once a month, I am going live with a monthly podcast that could increase over time based on feedback. And thank you for being here. Please subscribe if you've not already. It's free and it really helps me out. And I'd love to hear from you. So Katy, Katy at wellnesscollective.com and or pop into the chat. Thanks so much for being here with me.